Hi everybody, welcome to Ferrigno Freedom channel. I am Dante Ferrigno and I have been on a carnivore diet known as the Lion Diet now for almost 4 years. 2 weeks from now, it'll be 4 years. And I thought it would be a good time to come back and do another cooking video with you guys because I haven't done a whole lot of this since we transitioned from living in the tiny house we had to where we moved into our regular house. One of the reasons for that it's just been so chaotic inside the house. I really had a hard time making a switch from doing a lot of stuff outside and having my wife in one room and the kids in another building and everything was separated. Now we're all together and sometimes it's hard to get the time to do the things that I want to do to be able to share with you guys. But you know, I wanted to come back and do it again and I thought it would be good because I'm getting more and more people joining the channel who want to know, how do you do this? I mean, what do you do to maintain a carnivore way of eating like you do, Dante? You've been doing it for almost 4 years now. And though I have made many mistakes and I have cheated along the way with things that I shouldn't have, and I talk about that many times, the most important thing is getting right back on whenever you make bad choices and trying to get back on track of not making new bad choices. And that can be hard because we get set in our habits and in our ways. But I can tell you, the easiest thing that has been for me to make this lifestyle possible has been the air fryer. In general, the air fryer. It doesn't matter which brand. I just love the way the air fryer has made this way of eating possible. So what I'm going to do today, I've got this steak here. This is a 1.5 pound ribeye that I got recently from Publix. And I'm going to show you how I prepare it, especially since some changes have been made to the particular air fryer I use the most, which is the Dreo ChefMaker. And I'll put a link in the description for the Dreo ChefMaker, as well as any other devices or products that I use can be found on my website at ferrignofreedom.com. The only thing I think I haven't put there yet is the Schwenk grill. I need to go ahead and put that on the website as well. But I'll put a link in the description for Schwenk grills as well, so you can see all of the different things that I talk about that I cook with. But the Dreo ChefMaker has been my go-to now for close to 2 years. And that to me is amazing. One, because it's lasted this long. One of these two is a little older than the other. I don't remember which one's the oldest one. But the one thing that has been unique is that with the firmware updates they've provided, you know, this is an AI cooker. It actually does all the work for you on making sure the temperature's right. I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and show you how that part works first, and then we'll see how this steak comes out. First thing I like to do is I take some Redmond smoke salt, or I take regular Redmond kosher salt to season my meat with, because either way, I'm getting basically the same salt. The only difference is the smoked salt has been smoked. The salt is actually exposed to hickory or cherry wood smoke or a mixture of those for something called Chef's Blend. And I just love how it takes air fryer cooking and gives it the flavor of smoked meat without having to do all the extra work of smoking. Now, I know a lot of people love to smoke meat and do things like that. I'm not that guy. I like the Schwenk grill because it's fast and it's easy to clean. But when it comes to grilling, it's like, who's got time? I mean, maybe if you've got plenty of money and you have time to do the things you want, grilling is a lot of fun. And some of us just don't have the time to do all the grilling we would like to do. So the air fryer comes in helpful for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this salt on. And just so you know, I am grinding this, well, I should be at the highest level. I set it on the highest level. I use these OXO grinders right now because they've been good for about a year. I'm looking to replace these with something a little bit more durable. I'm looking at the HexClad grinders, but they're a bit more expensive. So, but since this is a lifestyle change, when I replace these, I'm probably gonna go with something a lot more durable than these plastic metal combinations that they make. But this has been a very good one. It's very inexpensive compared to the HexClad. I mean, it's like 1/10 the price of the HexClad grinder. But a good grinder is a welcome friend on a carnivore diet, and especially Lion diet, since salt is a huge part of our diet. And the reason salt is such a big part of Lion diet is because, and really any carnivore diet, if you're going straight carnivore, you want to try to be able to get some salt in there, is because we burn through electrolytes really fast on a carnivore diet, because when you're not consuming sugar, your body's letting all those electrolytes go. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, except that you need electrolytes for energy, and you just got to keep replenishing them. Now, some people have reported they don't have as much of an issue with electrolytes, but I know electrolytes were a huge issue for me. And since salt, which is sodium and chloride, are both electrolytes, they tend to do the job 100% for what I need. I know the first 7 months I was on the Lion diet, I never even touched anything like a supplement like Ribeye, which I use, also a Redmond product. Now, Ribeye came into my life because I started exercising more. And I thought, well, I might want to have a little extra electrolytes when I'm doing more sweat work, when I'm doing a lot of work out in the heat. And I also find that it makes a great mixture with my water in the morning, because I like to do a hot cup of water because I miss my coffee as far as having coffee in the morning. But what I don't miss is the adrenal push that coffee gives me. So I'll mix in some Redmond Ribeye with some hot water. And to me, it's just as good as coffee, without the unnecessary caffeine crash that comes later on, without the unnecessary boost of caffeine that you have late at night that makes it harder for you to sleep. So I do like electrolytes for that purpose. But anyway, we're cooking a steak today. Let me go ahead and show you how I do this.
Hey, it's Dante Ferrigno. I just wanted to thank you first of all for watching this video, but I also wanted to tell you about my merch shop. I have a link in the description for a bunch of different items I've put together for you to be able to show your support for the carnivore lifestyle, and every purchase helps me to keep doing what I'm doing here on Ferrigno Freedom.
All right, so here we are. I've got it set to chef mode. I'm gonna go ahead and select chef mode, beef, which is about all I ever use. And this is a ribeye steak, so I'm gonna select ribeye. Reminds me to use the right pan, the grilling rack that goes inside. As you can see, the grilling rack in here leaves it elevated and has large holes at the bottom so the air can flow around it really well. And then the last step is selecting how you want it done. I want my medium rare. And then you can choose between classic flavor and sous vide flavor. Sous vide flavor is my favorite. And even though it takes longer, as you can see, 45 to 75 minutes here, it comes out fantastic. So I'm gonna stick with that for today. Sometimes I don't cook it on sous vide flavor. Usually when I'm in a hurry, I may throw the steak in there for 15, 16, 17 minutes. It kind of depends on how thick it is, how much weight it is. Those things play a factor in how long it takes to cook. And that's one of the things that people always get so confused about. How long do I cook it? I don't want to overcook it. I don't want to undercook it. Because when you undercook it, you try to cook it a little longer and it doesn't get as cooked as you want. Then you try to cook it some more, and the next thing you know, with a minute later, it's overcooked. Because the temperature fluctuations of opening up the drawer have such an effect on it. Once I put the steak in here on sous vide mode or on classic cook mode, it can be on the regular cook mode too, which is a faster cook. But doing a thick steak for a longer period of time at temperatures that fluctuate accordingly to get the meat up to the right temperature, the result is just outstanding. And it has literally gotten better since day one. So that's new. I've never had an air fryer, first of all, last longer than a year before I was ready to replace it. And second of all, one that I've had almost 2 years and is actually improving in its function rather than going backwards. So I guess the proof will be in the pudding. So I'm gonna hold off on any more talk about this until we're done with this meat cooking, and we'll be right back. All right, I'm just getting back. There's 1 minute left on the ChefMaker, so I thought I would be here right to pull it out for you so you can see how it comes out of the ChefMaker. If it's been the way it's been, I mean, day after day, I have been cooking these steaks over the past, ever since the sale came up for Publix. And I have just been noticing, I'm like, why do these look even better than they did before? So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a good result here. I found that the thicker steaks are absolutely fantastic for this. Later tonight, I may try some thinner steaks, some 1-inch cut steaks that my mother-in-law bought because she wants to make food for the boys tonight, and she's encouraging steaks. So that's a good thing. Anytime anybody in my family is pushing steaks as the main meal, I'm excited. So we're moving in the right direction in all levels now. Carnivore has been wonderful for me, and it's been wonderful for a lot of people who follow my channel. I sometimes get lost in the fact that so many people have benefited from the change of eating that came from a carnivore lifestyle, that because I look around and I see how many people are not benefiting from it, and I just think to myself, what a shame. People are missing out on what I missed out on most of my life, but I'm here now, and you don't have to miss out on it. So anyway, here it is, right out of the oven. Let me go ahead and see if I can get some nice light on this for you here. You can see it is nice and brown, crispy looking, delicious. All right, Bria, it's my steak. All right, I'm gonna pull this out of here. Let me go ahead and get my tongs out. I use wood-tipped tongs when I'm handling anything that is in a non-stick coating type of thing like this is, because you don't want the metal scratching against the non-stick coating. I know everybody has their views on that stuff. If you're just not going to use it, that's fine, don't use it. But I have found that the air fryer does a great job. I haven't personally found one that's all stainless steel that does everything I want, but I have found one that cooks steaks awesome every time, and I love that. And after many, many washes, many cycles through the dishwasher as well, but a lot of times I just hand wash the inside, these things are still coming clean fantastically. Stuff does tend to stick to the surfaces a little bit better, I guess, over time, but it's not like the other air fryers that I've dealt with where it starts flaking off and having pieces of material coming off that you don't want in your food. So real easy to clean, that's a huge benefit. And on the days where I need to do a little thorough cleaning, I just throw it in the dishwasher. No big deal. So all right, so let's see how this steak came out. Now I wouldn't normally recommend cutting on a glass plate with a knife like this. I just didn't have my wood plate cleaned and ready, so I'm going to try to cut through this meat without hitting the glass too hard down underneath. You can see we got a beautiful medium rare cook here. Fantastic. It is not necessary to let the steak rest for a period of time afterward. I did happen to let it rest here for a little bit, so it probably did still keep cooking just a little bit, but man, look at that. It's just fantastic. Son. Man, that is so good. This is the best thing about this way of eating, is I never regret what I got to eat for my meal. It's not like the days back when I used to have to choke down salads all the time. Trying to be healthy, trying to follow all the rules that they were giving us over the years that were leading me to have a sick and unhealthy body. Now I get to eat food that I love every single day, and my body thanks me for it. My mind thanks me for it. My spiritual life is better for it. It's amazing what happens when you get the poisons out of your life. When you get all the junk that's in the food out of your life, and then as a result of that, you get all the medicines that the doctors were prescribing to you out of your life. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love what Lion Diet has done for me, and I know you'll love what it does for you too. Anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. I gotta eat this steak, and I gotta get back to work. I appreciate you checking in with me, and I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
I'll tell you something, when I'm just getting home from work and it's late at night and I don't feel like making a whole steak, I am really glad I've got Carnivore bar handy. This gives me something that I can munch on right when I get home, and I don't have to feel like I'm doing anything I shouldn't be doing. And how could you go wrong with these ingredients? Grass-finished beef, grass-finished tallow, Redmond real salt. Can't go wrong. Carnivore bar. Get yours using my link and code in the description.